Not to mention, he was a businessman as well. He died of heart failure this morning. And here's ABC's Brian Rooney.
Say hello to the boys and girls, will you?
Roy Rogers was once the #1 box office draw, playing the cowboy who always won the day and then broke into a song.
For a cowboy has to sing, and a cowboy has to yell.
The singing cowboy was a phenomenon of the Depression era, the feel-good hero who arrived just in time for the early days of talking movies.
So that's the bell of the El Dorado.
Gene Autry, Tex Ritter, and Monty Hale were among the biggest stars of their day.
Let's hear you sing. Yodelee.
When everybody was hungry, when the banks closed and everything, people would kind of gang in to see any kind of a movie, and they kind of took to westerns in those days.
After the death of his first wife, Rogers met the actress Dale Evans. They were married for 51 years.
The best thing that ever happened to Roy Rogers when they put her in my period.
Come on now.
Well, it was outside of Trigger.
You were #1. Come on.
Outside of Trigger, you're the best thing that happened.
Trigger, Rogers' favorite horse, which actually got billing over his wife in the credits for their television series.
Kids loved it. They didn't want to see you kiss the girl. They wanted you, if you kissed the horse, it was fine.
Roy Rogers became a business. He owned real estate and started a chain of restaurants. For a time, his name was everywhere. There were Roy Rogers lunchboxes, comic books, and a full line of cowboy gear.
Thousands of Roy's fans will stop and shop for the Roy Rogers items on display.
Happy trails.
Rogers spent his later years running his museum in the California desert. Trigger really was stuffed and put on display. Roy Rogers was 86 when he died at home.
Till we meet again.
Brian Rooney, ABC News, Hollywood.
When we come back, a last word about the fair.
Arnold, as popular as the biggest action stars are now, Roy Rogers had them all licked in his heyday. We lost the singing cowboy today. He died of heart failure at his home in the California desert at the age of 86. E.T.'s Leonard Maltin knew Roy and has this look back.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Roy Rogers was indeed the king of the cowboys. With his wife, Dale Evans, the two personified the upright, clean-cut American ideal. Over the years, I spent a lot of time with the Rogers, and Roy told me how his most famous song, Happy Trails, was born.
When I first started getting requests for autographs, I didn't know what to say to them. You know, best regards, best wishes. You get tired writing that. And I tried to make it Western. That's where the Happy Trails came up.
Roy was born Leonard Sly in Ohio and made his way to California during the Great Depression.
Here's the car. I came to California.
Look at this.
Roy and Dale gave me a tour of their Victorville, California museum, which features many artifacts of his legendary life and career, including his famed Palomino Trigger, who has been preserved forever. How did you learn to yodel, Roy?
I think you just naturally have if you have a break in your voice. Ooh.
Give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in.
Roy starred in over 80 films, and for 12 years was the #1 Western star at the box office. It seems as if there's a real spirit among the Western people that I don't think there is everywhere in Hollywood.
Well, I think so. We've always had pretty good spirits in our folk back when we were making all of our pictures.
Even in the 90s, he was still in the limelight, recording a new CD, doing a music video, and personal appearances with Clint Black.
If you hold on, partners, good things will come to see you.
A good-looking, straight-shooting family man who stayed married to his cowgirl for more than 50 years. No wonder he remained a hero and role model to so many fans.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.
Beside his wife of more than 50 years, Dale Evans, Roy leaves behind 6 children, 15 grandchildren, and 33 great-grandchildren. And, of course, millions and millions of fans like me who grew up loving him, idolizing him. I was one of the lucky ones who got to meet him as a grown-up, and you know what? He seemed just as much a hero to me then as he had when I was a kid watching him on that TV screen.
Oh, and he leaves behind great memories and a great life.
He certainly does.
Yeah. Thanks, Leonard.
Thank you, Leonard.
Any good times either, because you don't have anything to compare it with.
You don't appreciate
So we had our hard times and had a few arguments, not serious ones, but we have a ruling, we never go to sleep at night with an argument on our mind. We always clear the smoke out of the area.
Yeah.
And end it with a kiss or something, or a hug, and say, I'm sorry, I goofed off, or whatever. Whoever it was would do that. And we've done that ever since we've been married.
Okay, Dale, will you turn off the lights, please?
#1 Western star in the business. There was hardly a kid in the country who didn't want a pair of Roy Rogers boots or a hat or 6 guns. He always played the straight-shooting good guy who fought fair. He never shot anybody. He always shot the guns out of their hands, and then he'd sing about it. He's survived by his wife and longtime screen partner Dale Evans. Together, they wrote their theme song, Happy Trails to You.
Happy trails to you. Keep smiling.
Roy Rogers, dead at the age of 86.
He'll be missed.
One of my heroes.
Welcome.